Good day, strategy gamers, and welcome back to episode 74 of our Let's Play series, War in the East 2, Stalingrad to Berlin. We'll be covering the second half of turn 38 here today. We made it just past Kursk in our previous episode, which should afford us then some opportunity to do some housekeeping tasks as we go through the south half of the front and wrap up the end of the turn. Now, we made it right about to this line and kind of reorganizing our defense. We do have this infantry unit that's just sitting a little bit further out there, but we're comfortable with it. Now let's start looking a little bit south. In this pocket here, we see that the Germans actually are pretty fortified. Panzer Grenadier Division here. So it's going to be difficult to make any progress. So I think what we might want to consider is, are there opportunities to shift some of these forces south to continue pressing elsewhere as we, in general, try to get more forces down to help with the Odessa front? And here we have an artillery, have the 3rd Guards Army here. So the 3rd Guards Army is really kind of spread out across multiple points. So I'm wondering if we can maybe try to get the 3rd Guards Army south here. So let's move them down, and then here we're going to take these 2 rifle divisions from the 6th Army to fill their spots in the line. It's actually a little weaker than I would like there. So let's take this motorized unit back here, and we'll set them actually to reserve. That might just help a little bit. They don't have any armor, but maybe we can look at this rifle division, see if there's any support units that could help them out a little bit. No, not much. Some anti-air, but that'd be about it. A separate tank battalion at 67%. This tank brigade, I think we're going to hold off there. But that's put us in a position now where 3rd Guards Army, again, we can kind of start moving them a little bit more south. And let's take this guy. So it's a rifle division, right? Oh, you're actually unready. So let's take the rifle corps off the line. And we'll take this rifle division up. Yeah, we're not going to be able to. Okay. Now here, similarly with the 5th Guards Army, I would like to do something similar where we start to take some of these units south. So let's take this unit all the way down here. These 2 5th Guard Army rifle divisions we're going to take down. Let's see if we can actually build that into one rifle corps. Perfect. It's very helpful. We'll take the HQ down. We have an artillery we'll move down. We have 5th Guards Infantry Division, which I think we will have come here. All right. One more rifle division we're going to take off the line here. And another. And let's bring these to be a rifle corps as well. So that's good. Here, the 2nd Guards Army sitting there. 3rd Guard Army, that's fine. So it'll go 3rd, then the 2nd. Gonna move that artillery one over. This 3rd Guard Rifle Corps in Kharkov. Let's actually put them into reserve. Let's see if we can entice them to try to break through here at all. Or at the very least, we know we're not going to put Kharkov at risk. So that's good. Yeah, so happy with that progress overall. So now I think what I want to do is start looking for opportunities to take some forces south to Odessa. I think the 44th Army is a great candidate for that. I also think we can maybe take the 7th Guards Army and try to reposition them south as well. So we're going to take those two armies and try to move them south. To do that, we're first going to bring these units of the 44th Army. We're going to try to get them in a position where they can hop onto the rail network next turn. So we'll bring these guys over here. And the HQ can come up here. So that's done. Now, before we move all of 7th Guards Army, we'll get this one unit out of here just for kind of logistical purposes. Actually, let me check on rail conditions here. Yeah, so these aren't repaired yet, but these are. Ooh. Let's actually... It's going to exhaust them, but they're going to be in transit for a little bit, so I think it'll be okay. This way they're starting on established rail lines that we can just immediately put them onto rail transport. Yeah, the 7th Guards Army, I think we'll do the same thing. We'll try to get them off the front lines. To do that, though, we need to fill in a little bit of the gap here. So I think what we're going to do is stretch the 6th Guards Army that we have here. So let's start by taking this rifle division north. This rifle division can go here. Let's take him up. We'll actually build that up to a rifle corps and move them forward. Over here we have a cavalry corps. We're going to move up some armor. We'll take up the artillery here and the HQ. So now we have the 6th Guard Army here kind of on this defensive line. No intention to actually push, but we have enough to hold the line, right? Now I'm comfortable looking at the 7th Guards Army and actually trying to get them in a position where we can, next turn, move them via rail transport. So we'll start moving these guys over here. Do more than one at a time, I suppose. Take them there. Come up here. This is a really large force, actually. So it'll be great to get these on the line. There we go. Now these are all rifle divisions. Let's see if we can get that into a corps. Do the same thing here. Get another rifle corps. Here we won't quite be able to, well, actually, what does that convert to if we take all three? 2 rifle divisions. Okay. So then, did we have another rifle division here? We did. Can we convert you into a rifle corps? There we go. So now the 7th Guards Army is 4 very healthy rifle corps and 1 HQ. Not a terribly diverse mix of forces, but it also helps with our command points. And as you guys know from previous episodes in the South by Odessa, we're desperately short on some HQ units as well. So I'm hopeful that between the 7th Guards Army and over here with the 44th Army, we actually have a lot of command point capacity that we're going to be able to use. So these guys will board trains here near Stalino next turn, and then they'll take the trains as far south as they can over here to help with Odessa. And frankly, we'll probably put them right here just to the west of Kherson, and we'll try to use them hopefully to break out so we don't have to continue to rely upon these ferries for getting supplies over. So I think that should work well. Back to the action along the front, though. I don't think we've actually attacked anything yet, have we? My goodness, this is all really housekeeping, taking a turn, letting folks get situated, repositioning. And it's important to make sure that you do that pretty regularly, because the scale, the number of units involved, it is so easy for this game to just get away from you in terms of how you have your forces set up. So here we see we have the 65th Army. This unit is far out of position. I think I'm just going to reassign them to be part of the 58th Army HQ. I think that makes more sense instead of trying to reallocate them. This rifle division, let's have them come up here. And again, name of the game this episode, if you haven't figured out, is consolidation. Turn those into a rifle corps. Be much more effective here on the front. They take the HQ up one, so that way it's on the road, it's out of the tough terrain. Continuing along here, we've got, let's see, the 18th Army. I'm actually pretty satisfied with them in their current positions. It looks though like some of these units are a little, yes, we got two that are actually unready here. So let's, rifle brigade. Can we take 2 rifle brigades into a division, or do we need 3? Nope, 2 works. So let's put you to ready. And we're going to get these 2 rifle divisions off the line. I don't know if they can go to a corps. If they're unready, they can. Okay. So that's good. That's done. It's mountain division here. Then we have a rail unit that we're going to look at as well. They're not doing too bad. Ooh, actually, rifle squad's 50%. Never mind. Yeah, they're at 50%. That's not great. Let's take this rifle division and move them south. That should be sufficient. Okay. We'll put the rifle corps here on reserve. And how are they doing now that it's all mixed? 59% in rifle squad, submachine gun 67%. Okay, that's fine. Can we look at this rifle division and see if there's any support units maybe that can help it out? There are. Wonderful. Are they likely to encounter any armored forces? There's this mechanized unit there. Maybe what we'll do is we'll give them one of these tank brigades. So that should help substantially their fighting ability. And looking at it, that gives them 32 T-34s, 21 T-70s. So that extra armor is very helpful, especially being in kind of this clear and open terrain that we have here in South Ukraine. So that's all taken care of. This rail unit, before I forget, I want to go ahead and make sure we're taking care of that. Do I want to, I think I need to continue moving you north here. So I have to move you here. I can go this way or I can go north. Let's go here. Here. Looks like they're going to keep working those lines. This is a double-sided, I think is the term, track, so it's even more beneficial to get that converted, kind of going north-south. Looks like it runs up to here. So that should help a lot. And we've got a lot of track that we can continue converting up here. So let's see actually what we're doing that. Can we highlight the other rail unit that we have here? Oh, so I've just completely bypassed them in a sense. Well, I guess you can keep cleaning up. That's fine. And then you can just move. I'm tempted actually to keep one of them south because we're going to need them down here soon. Yeah, so let's actually start moving you in a south direction. I think that makes sense. Alright, so I think those were the last of our rail units. Here, 3 rifle divisions, name of the episode, convert them into a rifle corps. Here we've got the 65th and the 51st Army kind of intermingled. An opportunity to get another one of these armies south? I don't think so. And actually, let's look at this here. Oh, sorry, wrong hotkey. I think we skipped past it. Missing the land ones. Yeah. So let's look here. Some of these counterattacks that we endured last turn. This one wasn't too bad. Over here, 100,000 units, men, excuse me, almost 90,000 men. We lost 3,000. We lost 100 armored fighting vehicles compared to their 24. Let's look and see a little bit about that. So for their 24 that they lost, looks like it was mostly Panzer IIIs. It's not terribly helpful to our efforts. Oh, excuse me, 7 Stug 3s. That's a positive outcome, I suppose. That ratio I'm happy with. Don't care as much about them losing Panzer IIIs, but the Stug 3s are pretty impactful. Looking here at what we lost. Ooh. Wow. So we lost 30 KV-1s out of that 109. A further 36 were 48 in total were disrupted. My goodness. 9 were damaged. So pretty much all of our KV-1s had some type of impact to them. Which, actually, I should have looked at this. We were routed, so that explains that. My goodness, though. And we lost 68 T-34s. That's massive. So what did they take them out with? Let's see here. Looks like they took them out with... Panzer IIIs actually look like they were pretty impactful. Yeah. Total of 20 AP hits there. Now they did have some Tigers. They really didn't do anything in terms of armored combat. I'm guessing these HE hits were all, against infantry or other support, because it was really at quite a range, right? 511 yards. A little tougher to read where a lot of these losses came from on our side. The AP hits aren't really adding up. So I'm wondering if it was a little bit of a combination of our units being damaged, disrupted in the retreat. We can actually look at that a little bit. So when they were lost, yeah, so 45 of our T-34s were lost while retreating. So they could have been, we had to abandon them and they were destroyed, what have you. It's a little bit easier to lose them when you're retreating. Only 23 were actually from ground combat. The KV-1s, actually, it's notable too. 24 of their 30 losses were from a retreating phase of the battle. So, yeah, just them overwhelming us had some pretty significant damage done. Another one here where they threw 40,000 men at our 13,000. We lost 1,600 men. Really, really heavy losses in gun emplacements. About a sixth of our total. We lost 50. They didn't lose anything. My goodness, look at that. Here, this is a little goofy. I'm hoping that at some point in some previous episode, I had a really good reason for the 77th Rifle Division to have 3 artillery regiments assigned to it. But what that reasoning is, I don't remember. And this comes back to the housekeeping step, right? Of it's pretty important that you stay on top of some of those things. Don't think there were any other notable battles, really, from their counterattacks last turn for us to concern ourselves with. Continuing down here around Zaporizhia, the 51st Army. So you're part of the 65th Army, so you can move up there. That rifle division, I don't know that you need to still be in refit. think you're probably okay. So we'll move them up here. And we'll take the HQ forward as well. So that's good. Down to the south. So we have more 65th Army. Let's take the 51st Army and move them south. Here we actually are going to advance. And then let's take these 2 rifle brigades. I need to move them out maybe. Take the rifle brigades forward. Now can I build up? There we go. So now we got 2 rifle divisions out of that. And we'll bring up another rifle division. And now we have a rifle corps. This rifle corps can come forward. And here, I think, might be the first action of the episode. They had a whole infantry division committed to defense, so they're going to hold, of course. Okay. That's fine. Here, the 28th Army. Does this cavalry corps need to be in refit is the question. Doesn't look like it. I mean, they're not great, but they don't need to be in refit status. So we could move forward with you guys. We're going to attack there again. This time an element of the Panzergrenadier Deer Division was committed, but it wasn't enough. We lost 30 armor in that attack. That seems a bit excessive. Okay. 51st Army. I'm going to move you forward here. You can come down here. So we have 2 Guards Rifle Divisions. So I believe now when we build this up, we're going to get a Guards Rifle Corps. We do. Wonderful. So that's a benefit to us. That's good. 28th Army. Did I get my... The 51st Army really just these 2 elements? 8 out of 22. So the 28th Army is actually overburdened. So let's take all of you to the... Okay, we're going to take you to the 51st for sure. You can go to the 51st. I think I'm going to take all of these guys to the 51st Army as well. Yeah, we're going to. And 1 more to go. This should now be a better split. Well, we just kind of lopsided the other, whatever. So the 51st Army will move up the HQ, I guess. This Cavalry Corps is part of the 28th. You're part of the 46. 46 is pretty weak too. The 46 we're going to take off the line. Yeah, we're going to take the 46 off the line. So let's do this. You're all part of the 46 Army. Can you go to a Rifle Corps? You can. Let's move you here. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to do anything. '46 Army. Anything else? Let's put this Rifle Corps as part of the 46 Army. Yeah, I like that. Now, do we have enough strategic movement to actually put you onto a train? I think we do. Oh, look at this. This is fantastic. So we're going to move all of you right up here. And you can come south here. Excellent. All right. So that should be all of the 46 Army that's left. 28th Army can come up here. This Rifle Division will move over here. And the 9th Army. Geez, we're getting all spread all around. You're going to go part of the 28th now. This is just good housekeeping to get done. Oh, my goodness, what did I do? This rifle corps is supposed to be part of the 46th Army. How did I mess that up? It's probably not showing because the HQ's too far away. Did I miss it? Yeah, we'll come back to that later. Oh, no, I just clicked the wrong unit. Still isn't showing though. Okay. Yeah, we'll come back to that. And then here we have 28th Army is what we want. You can move up here. Get the house a little bit more in order. Okay, so that's the 28th Army taken care of. Now we continue on. The 9th Army, which is a big pile. Big pile of hurting units, to be specific. Look at this rifle division. 2,200 men. Just awful. So let's do this. Let's take you here. You here. Let's turn you into a rifle corps. Now you can sit on the HQ stack. 57th Army. I want to take the... I might actually take the 9th Army off the... Oh, no. Let's see. The 57th Army has capacity. So can we take some of you... This is just all going to get messy. I want to take the 9th Army off the line. Is kind of where I'm going with all this. So let's just start working towards that end. I'm going to take the 9th Army off the line. Okay. You go there. Okay. Now, let's take this rifle division down here. This rifle corps, we're going to put to the 57th Army. There we go. That's done. Now over here, these two units are also going to go to the 57th Army. 57th Army gets larger. And 57th Army stays and holds the line, while the 9th Army goes to reinforce elsewhere on the line. This is good. I like this. We'll take the rifle division and we'll move them where maybe we're a little weaker, right here. And then let's turn this mechanized corps to reserve in case of any potential counterattack here. Then we're kind of ready. This is good. Can I get you on trains this turn? I can. It's not far, but I can. I can do the same thing. Nope, you guys are at your limit. That's fine. Frankly, I don't know that I need to put you on trains. Definitely helps though. Can they really not go? Alright, well let's just move you this way then. Very well. There's that done and dusted. Continuing on. Here we have the 56th Army. And you are very spread out. This is where we start to actually run into some issues. So you are the 56th Army. Okay. And over here, 47th Army, and this is just all a mess. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We got some reinforcements this turn. So we're going to take the steppe front. We're going to put them in Kherson. And then we're going to assign 56 Army. Oh, we already have the North. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to think about that probably off air in between episodes. Didn't mean to right click. Shoot. I need to think about that off air on where we have our different fronts. I made a mistake there, not realizing we had the North Caucasus front there. Yeah, it's a bit tough. Okay. But here, I know we can do this. So this guy is going to go to the, well, actually, he's going to go here. He's going to join the 47th Army. There we go. And then the 4th Tank Army is going to move down here to Odessa. And these guys we're going to put in the 4th Tank Army. So this should alleviate a little bit of the headquarter constraint. Not all of it by any means, but it'll help. 4th Tank Army, we're already now getting almost to the point of being full, but it helps. It all helps. Sorry, I need to make sure the 4th Tank Army is actually signed. So let's actually put them in the steppe front for now. I might change that later. But for now, we'll put them in the steppe front. Okay, there's that. 37th Army now is looking a little better. It's looking a little better. Over here, I take you guys to a division. Yes. You're in different armies. So what if we put you in the 30s, or no, wrong one. What if we put you in the 37th Army? Okay. Then let's make you division if we can. Wonderful. Oh. Yeah. Get a division out of you. Yes, we need to get motorized unit off. Let's try it again. There we go. Now I can go back. A little silly, but it works. 2 rifle brigades. And get you into a division. This all helps immensely, frankly. All right. This is good. So we have a lot of reinforcements coming south. We have the 44th Army. We have the 7th Guards Army. We have the 9th Army. I think that's it. All coming to the south. So it's a pretty large redeployment of forces. And with them, I want to punch through just here northwest of Kherson and actually start to take some of these crossings on the river. So Kolosovska, right? We want to try to capture there. And then even up here, Prvomazk, right? And try to drive a little bit of a pocket outwards here, which will then start to threaten these guys on whether or not they really want to stay there that much longer. So that's kind of the game plan there. And then we'll just continue reinforcing down here the fortifications that we've managed to build. It's going to make it really tough for them to actually do anything now in the future. Equally, though, to be fair, we've lost our momentum on breaking out of here. So that is something we're going to have to kind of combat. But it's we very early on captured Odessa, probably earlier than we deserve to. Now we need it to make sure these last couple of episodes that we've kept it. The next phase now is breaking out from it. Very happy though, the fact that we got 3 HQs and their armies kind of on their way to the south here. That's going to be very helpful. Let's take another look to see in the different theater boxes. So like here in the northern front, we're green in terms of its status. I want to push this just a little more. So we're actually going to take, I think, some of these rifle divisions, 2 of them, I think. We're going to transfer them to the map. Okay. We look at the Trans-Caucasus. Our ground is actually fine. Yeah, let's take one of the rifle divisions to the map. We look at the far east. Here, we're going to take a rifle division. And then when we look at our reserves, I don't think I have much of anything here. We already brought in a lot last turn. I think we'll take some of these heavy tank regiments. And I say that because we've seen witness to in the south them having a fair number of tigers. And I think that might be something that we try to combat in the future. So we're going to take some of these support units, actually get them out there. We did a lot of these SP gun units last time. Let's do a couple more. Just a couple more. Okay. So now that we're done with that, I don't know that we have really much of anything else. I don't want to, again, we're just going to hold the fortification line that we have right now. Got either 1s or 2s in every single hex aside from this one right here. I'm not too worried about that. You on reserve, you are. Yeah, so you would help out if they did get a counterattack, but you're not even on the line facing someone. I guess, you know, just to keep them on their toes, we actually are going to push here. Yeah. Jaeger division, armor division committed. Yeah. Still wasn't enough, though. They lost 19 armor, probably Romanian armor, I'd bet. Let's just take a quick look at it. See what happened. Yeah, so this was Romanian armor that they lost here. I want to say that some of these were also converted French armor. And we lost 6 KV-1s? How the hell did that happen? Maybe the Jaeger division had... Well, let's go find out. These T4s destroyed 2 things with AP hits. Looks like this Pak 38 AT gun, 28 millimeter anti-tank gun. Yeah, interesting. A little unfortunate, but nonetheless, we pushed them back. And we're going to do the same here, I think. How did we lose 11 armor and they held? Do it again. Can't. Okay. Just a little frustrated by that, I suppose. Tempted to try to push here. Let's move up. We're going to do it. Okay. And this mechanized unit will move here. There we go. Yeah. Happy with that, I guess. Just gives us a bit of a foothold to try to break out from. Threatens a little bit, right? Is there anywhere else? Do we want to... So on paper, we really have an advantage. There's 2 things coming into play. First, their supply situation seems quite horrible. Largely probably given that they just came out of the map. Second, they very well could have something supporting. On the flip side, oh, and it's Fortification 3, if I didn't say that already. On the flip side, our ability to actually push through here really would be so helpful. Let's try it. Let's try it. Ah, worth the risk. So now they've lost that Fortification 3 hex. That's a pretty big deal. And we're going to take this Rifle Brigade up. We're going to be a little adventurous there. And we're going to set you to a reserve status. And we'll take the mechanized unit up. There we go. Yeah, so now we're not necessarily having to... So I want to try to first cross here at Kolosovka. Or come south here, I suppose, and cutting them off. But crossing the river with Fortification 3, that's just tough. That's a really tall ask of any unit. So I think more than likely we want to either come around from the north or push up here from the south. Given some of the fortification levels and the fact that we know they have units here, I'm guessing through the north is going to be a little bit easier. So, excellent turn. Let's go ahead, do some AI depot management in the turn, and we'll see where some of the cards fall. In turn, skip past some of these, some of our own air resupply. AI doing a great job there. Now the Germans' logistics phase, and following that, we'll hold with bated breath to see where their 90,000 man counterattacking force reaches out to this turn. It's a general concept. I think everybody saw this episode that we didn't, my goodness, we may have only attacked in 5 spots in total, I think, throughout the entire episode. So really, in general, our units should be in a better defensive position, even though we've taken units off the line. They've also had fewer supplies expended as compared to the constant, non-stop pace at which we've been pushing against the enemy in previous episodes, as well as just their fatigue will be a little lower from having a turn off. So overall, counterattacks that they have this turn should, gonna knock on some wood off microphone here, should be less impactful than, say, the previous turn that we just had, and they were very scary. Kursk especially comes to mind. Maybe had a nightmare or two about that after seeing that. Here onto their air phase real quick. Shouldn't take too long, probably a lot of recon. We're doing a lot of recon in the south by Odessa, which has had me worried. I mean, it could just be this is a very concerning part of the front that we don't have covered today, and we want to make sure we know what's going to break through there, and their recon's probably telling them, okay, nothing's going to break through, or they're doing that much recon because they think they have an opportunity to actually isolate those units and cut them off. A couple of episodes ago or turns ago, they may have had a better chance. Where we're at today, I think the likelihood of it is really reduced. They've given us time to dig in. They would need to break through in multiple spots to really be able to cut us off. And again, they'd find themselves very prone to counterattack once it came to our turn. So they would really need to be quite surprising if they were managed to pull that off. Here you see that their air resupplies are getting weaker and weaker, and just 1-2 units are what's coming here. Okay, well, 35 that time, but we're having some luck in shooting down their transports. Oh, a little interesting. So this is west of Riga. We got pretty aggressive there, that's fair. This is north of Minsk. They routed our rifle brigade, fair enough. South of Leningrad, they're desperately trying to do something because they know their supply situation is just untenable. Next turn, these units should all be taken care of, I'd expect. And is that most of the counterattacks? Looks like it might be. Looks like we're in the movement step. Okay. Interesting. So absolutely nothing south or east of Minsk in terms of counterattacks. That's a first now for a few turns. A little surprising from them. But one thing they have managed to do is keep us on our toes, so fair enough. As we wrap up here, excited to see what the end of turn summary looks like. Maybe. Loading. Here we go. Looks like they moved one unit over there. 123 tons, 77 aircraft. That's just insane. 74 again. Desperately trying to keep those units in supply. What I was going to say is I'm a little surprised they're still even trying to do that, really. Considering that, that supply that they could probably use elsewhere on the front to prevent further breakouts. It feels maybe a little cutthroat or a little insensitive, but they maybe it'd be better off telling them, hey, hold out as long as you can, then surrender. Because we need those supplies, we need those airframes, we need those minutes in the air, what have you. We need them supporting the rest of the war. Yeah, I don't know. They're clearly not going to come rescue those units. They've certainly not if all their supplies going to them. Just going through our own AI logistics here as it's moving around different support resources. Almost wrapped up. Kiev is getting a little closer than I guess I had realized. It's actually not that far. I think we'd be well ahead on time if we got there this year. The game will probably end before the end of the year. I think it's October or something, but still, I think we're on a good pace there. We've certainly crossed the Dnieper here. And from there, we can break out. All right. End of turn summary. Let's see here. Oh my goodness. In total, we stayed pretty much flat in terms of personnel on the map. We had a number transferring in 40,000, leaving the different theater boxes to come in. The Axis lost in net 74,000 men. Guns, we had positive 822. Axis, negative 673. Armor, again, they continue to be a little surprising. We were positive 96. They were positive 176. I think just the attrition of so many of our attacks really doesn't do justice to just the quantity that are being shipped out of factories. And then 155 positive airframes to their 136. In terms of unready status, that actually went up a little bit, I think, from the last turn. Low supply, just a little bit lower, I think. So some positives there. Another great episodes, just seeing new events. Oh my goodness. Garrison shortage, Soviet partisans. Belarusia heats up with partisans. All right, good stuff. A great episode. Thank you so much, everyone, for your continued support. Really appreciate it. It's been fun. We're going to keep going until the end of the victory point conditions, see how far we can get. And we'll see you guys next time. As always, Strategy Gamers, hoping you have yourselves an excellent day. Bye now.